And 8.5 triangle formula substitutions. These are all going to be multiple choice problems. So which of the following equations could be used to find the value of x? And so our options are going to be law of sines, law of cosines, the area formula. So in this one, I'm wanting to find a side. And so I can't use law of sines because I don't have any opposite side to angle relationship. So that one's out. Okay, so it's between these. Law of cosines, remember that it's knowing one angle side, having an angle side relationship, but one of them being missing, and then knowing the sides on either side of that angle. So that will work. And I want to start with the side. So be x squared equals 31 squared plus 26 squared minus 2 times those sides, and then times cosine of the angle 60. And so that would be this one. Yep, first choice. So that one's pretty easy. That's finding a missing side. Okay, on number 2, we're asked to find a missing angle. Okay, and so I do have where I could set up a proportion here. I could have sine of 48 over 32 equals sine of x over its opposite side, 43. Is that a choice, though? Sine of x over 33, no, that one doesn't work. Sine of x over 43 equals sine of 48 over 33, not 32. That one's out. So they're trying to trick us, and that actually law of cosine or sines is not an option on here of what will actually work. So we're going to have to use law of cosines. And something I need to talk about is law of cosines can be manipulated and so that you are finding just the angle. And so let's write out the formula real quick that it's c squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2ab times cosine of angle C, big C. So if I wanted to isolate this angle part, this cosine of angle C, I could subtract the c squared over, and then I could also add this whole term over, so now it would be positive. So I would have 2ab cosine of big C equals a squared plus b squared minus c squared. And then I can divide away the 2ab. Okay, so that was not a lot of room to write that, but what I've got is that cosine of my angle will equal a squared plus b squared minus c squared all over 2 times a times b. And that's the formula they're using here. That's anytime you're trying to find a missing angle, they like to use that format of it instead. And so what I'm going to have is my angle here, so that's why I have cosine of x in these choices. I'm going to have my a and my b be my sides on either side of the angle. So I should have a 33 and a 32 being squared. This one does. And then minus the side that's across from my angle that's unknown is the 43. So it'd be this choice right here. If you don't understand that, you can plug it into the normal formula and then try to solve it for that cosine of x. Okay, number 3. I've got, looks like I can make a proportion here. I can have sine of 32 over x equals sine of 20 over 27. And so that would be, looking for one that's got sine of 32 and sine of 20. So that one's out. It'd be this one. And so these things can both be flipped, and that's fine as well. And then number 4, we're doing area. That one's like the easiest one because it's 1/2 times a times b times sine of c. And so we got to just figure out which numbers we could have here. So let's start with our angle, sine of c. So this has sine of 75, which would be here. you would have to not be using the 50, you would have to be using the 22 and the 51, and they do, so actually it's that one. So it's not this one because they're using 75, but then using the opposite side with the 51. So it has to be these sides around the angle. So that one wasn't right. Using 25, you would have to have your A and your B be 50 and 51. So it looks like that one could be let's see. So I think I actually should have included these directions. I think this one's going to be a which one does not work, because this actually does work from this angle. These would be the adjacent sides. And then this one of angle 79, you would need to be using 22 and 50, and they do. So all of these work. This was probably a which one does not work, and it would be that choice.